Boom, everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Kendrick coming at you from the quarter. Let's go ahead and talk about a few things in Azur Lane. So, as you know, or if you've been playing the game recently, you probably saw the actual uh, new item that we have called Augmentation modules. Now, let's go ahead and talk about these a little bit here. Uh, this is not game breaking, okay? So, I know some of the people are making a big deal out of it, but it's really not that big of a deal. Basically, it's just another item that you can do. But the tabs that, at least from what I'm seeing from the items that we're seeing right here, these are not. These are really not in terms of the stats. Not a large boost. So basically, I'm just looking at it as another item at this point that'll give me minor stats. So min maxing. You just want to try to get, a little bit, like, say here we get to the 10% firepower and 14% anti-air. Okay, and the effect, of course, is damage reduction against aircraft. So they've got, I assume as we'll be getting some much nicer of these augmentation modules. So, and you can't move it between characters. It's not something like that something that you have to, once you stick it on a character, it's there forever. It's just like a regular piece of equipment. You can also modify it as you move it. So if you move it to another ship, you might want to adjust the stats on it to get, to more be in line with what that ship has. For some ships, you might want to go with firepower. Some ships you might want to go, with anti-air if they lack that, or if they have that and you want to just buff that stat. So there's different types of effects that they have, but the effects are minuscule at this point. And now it could change once we start getting some of the large, some of the newer of these augmentation modules that could be really, really good. I mean, the ones they've shown us, these are just the ones that we got from the event that they had, the mini event, where you fish all the stuff that you needed for the augmentation module. And so as you can see, they gave us a couple. These have to be crafted. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and craft it. So now it's in. So as you can see, um, we've got a firepower of 11, anti-air of 17 because it has a +3. Okay, decreases your vanguard's damage taken from aircraft by 5%. This skill cannot stack with itself, which meaning if somebody else has this skill, it won't work because it cannot be stacked. Okay. Uh, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good little setup item wise here. Okay, um, it's nice. It's got a good stat, so it's something that can be used, but it's not earth shattering or groundbreaking. It's just another piece of equipment that you need to adjust accordingly. You want to try to match with what if you're going to put it on FDG, you're of course might want to go something towards firepower just to increase her firepower because that's what she is. So there are things, that you can do. So definitely consider that in terms of when you're applying the augmentation module. But again, not really groundbreaking or anything like that. Okay, so in reference to the Radiant Court, of course, still proceeding. You definitely want to continue farming this. I'm pretty much farmed it as much as I really need to. I've already got, how many do I got? I think I have close to 40,000. I have 41,250 stars of loyalty. I do not need to get Jarvis because she's quite ready to be maxed out. I just need two more, the final max. She's already at 7. I think she's at like 80 something. So I can already, and I've got the Bulbul Sadura, so I don't see the need to spend 8,000. So I'll get the Admiralty fire control table, and then purchase the cognitive chips, the cognitive arrays, the parts, and the blueprints. Which is what I always purchase. And as long as I get that, I consider it to be a success. I have all of the ships needed. I had them some time ago, so it's not like I need to. Let's go ahead and put this wrong button. Let's go ahead and hit the favorites here. Adjust this to Royal Navy. Okay, so as you can see, I've got Jervis. She's at 88, so she's ready to be fully limit broke. I got another copy of Indomitable when I did my build this morning, so I went ahead and combined that with a boolean to finish the limit breaking on her. So she's done. Vanguard, you just had to obtain it. You didn't have to level break it, but I will be level breaking it. I did Revenge and Balana. I got another copy of Balana just yesterday in her mini event inside of the rating court, and then I got Revenge. Like I said, I got her a while ago. So she's at 70. She's at 79. So 70 is all you need to fully limit break it. So so I've got all the ships. I just need to limit break those last two, but I'll wait until the end of the actual sortie. So I'm up, when the build event portion ends, that's when you want to start doing this. So when this build event ends, which is on the 15th, so that's in another 5 days, I will then the following day do any start fax limit breaking, because you might get a copy of the ships inside of here, and you don't want to have to, you don't want to be wasting your actual bullets if you don't have to. I mean, that bullets are fairly common. Just doing your weeklies, you can get 4 or 5 epic bullets, and you can get a gold prototype bullet. So it's not like they're hard to get. So that's that. And I've actually got for Vanguard, I've actually got one of the actual limit break items that I need for her to right here, and I have more than enough to purchase the remaining ones, so I'll be able to take her up to max when the time comes. So that's it. There's a whole not a whole much a whole lot of stuff going on. I got the actual outfit for Lamar's, and did clear the actual. Right now, I'm just really focusing a little bit on the rally quest, just to go ahead and make sure that I finish that up before the event ends, which it ends on the 15th as well. I'm at 2020. As you can see, I'm very close to where I need to be to actually start collecting those up. But yeah, so I just wanted to do a video about the augmentation model, augmentation modules, because there was a lot of people talking about them, but I hear a lot of people talking. Some are just saying go for get as much firepower as possible, just some extra firepower, and it is really, there's the stats, they're just really not. I mean, once we start getting better items, we'll be able to start making better augmentation modules when they give her higher ranked augmentation models where we get more stats. Then it might be able to make it an impression, or so to speak. But right now, the stats are minuscule. I do like the stat on the one with the 5% damage. That's always nice. So that's definitely something you might want to put on one of your ships, especially if you're going into the higher levels where, in 13 and 14, where you're starting to get, we're going to start getting, exceedingly large amounts of aviation damage from all the aircraft that are flying around. So anything to help out that would be good. But yeah, so we're just continuing on with the actual event for another 5 days. I know they gave us a lot of time for this event, which is really good. It's really difficult to actually. It's difficult to do in just a standard 2-week format. It's really difficult to complete events like this because, especially if you have to run, like if you look at the build, I'm barely halfway, just a little bit more than halfway to the pity for Vanguard. So I was, but I've got a lot of gold and stuff. But man, it'd be really hard for some in a 2-week period, because we're already really past the 2 weeks. 2 weeks would have been 2 weeks would have been a couple of days ago. So it takes a lot of gold and a lot of cubes, and doing a lot of building really fast to get up to the pity. I unfortunately never had to use the pity. I did get really close on Shinano, but I think I got it. I was about, I don't know, I think it was about 20 or so pulls away from the pity when I finally did pull her. It was like the second to last day of the event, and I was running low on gold was my problem. The cubes weren't actually the problem. It was actually the fact that I was just hadn't been really paying much attention to the gold, and had been focusing more on how many cubes I had. And not, because when you do build, people don't realize it takes 1,500 coins. So, if you just want to do 10, okay, that's 15,000. This was back in Shinano, so my max wasn't 71,400. So, that right there could be a cost. And if you do that a couple of days in a row, uh, that's going to, that's 30,000, 3 days in a row. That's okay. You see, is that 40? So as you're saying, you could really get rid of your gold really fast, and you just don't replenish it that much. So I really hadn't been paying attention to the gold and been focusing more on the wisdom cubes. And yeah, I had enough wisdom cubes, but then I started to notice that I was like in, and so I was getting to the point where I was having to do daily rate, when I was doing the dailies, watching the gold, uh, doing events that had mostly gold, just looking for ways to get gold. Fortunately, I didn't have to purchase any because, like I said, I did actually get her before before I reached the pity. But yeah, so ever since then, I've been extremely. I keep a keen eye on both the cubes and the actual gold just to make sure I have enough. But yeah, I hit Vanguard pretty quick. I did a 10 pull when I hit. I think it was Vanguard and Indomitable were in the same, or I think no, I'm not sure. There were two ships in there. It was Vanguard and something else was in the pool. Uh, I'm not. I don't think it was Indomitable because I think I got Indomitable first. I think I got her in like the first day. She was like in the first five pool that I did. I managed to draw her, but I can't remember. It might have been Jervis. But yeah, I drew the same. I drew two of them inside of that I needed, and that's what set me up. So I will be able to finish it if we go into the event tab. I just got to fully break Jervis and fully break Revenge. And that will take me well over the actual amount to get the actual chat border or the portrait frame. So, but yeah, like I said, I'll wait until the 16th to actually do this, just in case I get copies of them. I got quite, I keep quite a bit of booleans inside of my doc. I always make sure that when I'm going into an actual event, that I do keep enough booleans around so that I won't have to worry about that. So as you can see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 7 of the prototype booleans. Plus, I've got a couple in the weeklies that I haven't claimed yet. And then in terms of the actual booleans for that, I have 1, 2, 3. So I have 5 of those, and I've still got one inside the weeklies that I've claimed. So, but yeah, on the 16th, if I have still, if I have not got another Jervis, I'll just use these 2 booleans. And that'll have me set, and then we'll have to wait for the next event to come along and see what comes up. But yeah, so pretty good ships, as I did on the previous video. These are really, really, really good ships. All of these ships could be useful up in the upper levels. It's like they made, this event was sort of like geared toward the upper levels of the story, where certain they start throwing enemy subs at you and things like that. A lot of aviation damage, and a lot of the stuff that these guys can offer out or can help mitigate that. So this is definitely for newer players. This is a really, really, really good event so that you can get a head start on building and using what you're going to need. I mean, if you can get a fleet of these and get these set up, you'll be able to go through the story all the way up into all the way up till the higher levels. And by the time you get there, you should have them fully maxed and fully kitted. So you should be able to do pretty well on 13 and 14, and which is where we're at right now. So this is a very, very good team. So you got 5 more days. So just get in there and knock them out and get them. But they're good. And once we get some more of the augmentation modules, we'll start focusing a little bit on them. I did want to bring up one thing. Repulse is actually in Operation Siren. So if you do start, if you want to get meta Repulse, that's where she's at. I know because she was in the story, and some we're wondering where the ships were at. Well, she is in the inside of Operation Siren. So you have to participate in Operation Siren to actually get her. The ship inside, because Memphis is the one that's inside of the cruise. That's Memphis. That's not. That is not the Repulse meta. The Repulse meta, you have to do Operation Siren, and you'll have to do the data sync and get her that way if you do want her. I'm hoping they're going to be doing something with the meta ships, make them a little bit more powerful. Some of them had just really, really just for the just a way to collect them. But there she is, right there. Right there's her pulse meta. So you have to get her inside of Operation Siren. So the normal way that we used to get them, uh, that's where. Okay, but if you do the cruise mission, you'll be able to get Memphis, and you'll be able to get copies enough to fully max her out. You'll just have to work on the skills and stuff, and use the mats to level her up. That way, level up her actual sync. But to get all the copies, you can get those copies within of the actual cruise mission. I'm close to completing it, and I really don't focus on it anyway whatsoever. Okay, yeah, I don't focus on it from that much, you know. And they give you a lot of time to complete it, so it's not like you need to do it. But I'm about halfway through it. You got 51 days, so yeah. So I haven't really focused on it. I just do my dailies, you know, do everything, you know, and you just get stuff. I did not purchase the rewards pack. I did the first time it came out for 9.99. I just tried it to see what it was, but it gives you a lot more of the of some of the higher material rewards, so it's very useful. But like I say, I don't spend, you know, I don't spend a lot of money on games. I did this just because I wanted to see. They also had an outfit in there that I was interested in getting a skin. So, but as you can see, they got some augmentation module, of course, inside of there. That's pretty nice. And you will, of course, get the diamonds. So as you can see, they got some really good stuff in here. But the actual copies of Memphis and all that stuff, those are in the regular rewards. So that's not something. There's one copy of her. Um, so you don't have to purchase the actual. There's another copy of her. So you don't have to purchase the rewards to get the rewards to get Memphis. You can get all the ones that you can get directly from within that. But you just get some nice stuff. Some more of the higher mats, and some skins that you can use for your weapons and for your actual characters. So it is what it is. But yeah, I did it one time just to check it out, but haven't done it since then. Most of my, really the only thing in this game that you have to actually worry about is getting your dock space. They usually give you enough of the actual uh, uh, chips that you can actually get it, because dock space is fairly easy to get. Dock expansion for 10 slots is only 200, so you can actually and you can usually get this just with in-game items and stuff like that. Every now and then they'll pop up events where you can get some gems, uh, and it's usually enough to fill me up. As you can see, I got 474, so I have enough for two more dock space refills. And by the time those run out, I will of course uh, have enough to purchase a little bit more. So I really don't have to spend much inside of here. I have bought gems once or twice, but like I said, I have definitely not spent uh, more than $25 or $30 uh, over the course of the game. And I've been playing it for a couple of years now. You just don't need to, because there's, you know, they make most of running off the skins. I don't have a lot of the skins, uh, and you know, but I like the way the ships look without having to purchase the skins and stuff for them. So, but that's where they make most of their money is from the skins. The game's very, very, very free to play in terms of that. So I haven't seen anything where felt the need. Oh, I need to purchase this to keep up. They give me enough that I need right here, and if I do, you know, occasionally want to drop a few dollars on the game, I do, because I do enjoy the game. I have no spending a little bit of money on a game if I enjoy the game, and if it's something that is the deal. That's one of the other things I like about the game is it's reasonably priced. Like some of the other games are freaking ridiculous. As is using Diablo Immortal as an example, 110,000 just to max out a character is downright ridiculous. Uh, it's criminal. So that's where we're at with that. So I will not be playing Diablo, which is unfortunate, because I played Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction, Diablo 3, played them all, beat them all multiple times. Spent a lot of time just farming for equipment, because that's basically what you do in Diablo is gather up a bunch of enemies, do some high level skills on them, collect the loots, try to get the legendary, make a legendary set, and things like that. And I even did participate in some of the seasons for Diablo 3. Um, it got a little just boring after a while, just doing the same thing over and over. They do have multiple character classes, so there was a keeps going. But I did like it was just a good story. It was a nice story. But yeah, Diablo Immortal just totally thrashed that. So we'll have to see what But when you got Blizzard involved, we've known that they've been shady for quite some time. We're just now fully seeing how shady they actually are. But yeah, so I don't play it. I mean, I did download it, put it on my tablet. Uh, it was okay. Not something that I want to, I don't really like a lot of action RPG type setups that you can play on the phone. They're just, I sit there, uh, I prefer to play things that you could, that you just sort of more, the gotcha type games where you can just, draw and you can auto most of the stages because you just set up your team the way you want and then you run auto. And then just doing the daily requests required to build your strength of your character. That's what I prefer to do when I'm playing on an actual phone. If I'm going to play like on my computer, I play games. Like I play like Fallout 4, on the game of Steam. Do things like that, and that's where I play my Diablos. They're all on the computer as well, too. I still do have Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction, Diablo 3. You can get them running on Windows 10. I do have them. It's a little tricky, but you can usually get it to work. You just need to make sure you connect to BattleNet and download the patches that they do have on there, and you can get it to work otherwise. So that's what I use my computer for is playing those types of game. Uh, I don't really do them that much on the phone, so it's sit there driving your thumbs all over the place. It's fun for a little bit, but not that much. Otherwise, I put everything on the emulator, which I do like doing as well. So I do play, have pretty much all the games on the emulators as well too. So yeah, but that's it. So yeah, augmentation modules. It's not earth shattering. Um, the stats are minor at this point. Once we get some of the better augmentation modules, maybe that'll change. But at this point, um, they saw the data mine some people data mined it a while ago, so we knew it was coming. Um, and we did. It's just another item. You know, get it. Try to get the stats for whatever type of ship you're putting it on. If you're doing a battleship, you might want to put some firepower on it. And the entire ship. For instance, that event, that item that I just put on Sandy would be perfect for her because she is the idol. She is the best anti-air in the game once you've retrofitted her. So sticking anything that would help that. You can usually with her and supplying a little bit of anti-air, you can usually max out your anti-air pretty good. She's very useful in the later stages. So she's definitely what you want to limit. You definitely want to do the retrofit. The items for her retrofit are inside the shop, for both her and Warspite. So it's not like you have to wait for the event to roll around anymore. Um, this is the one for Warspite, and this is the one for Sandy. So you can get them right here. They also have the ones for the Emperor ships that came out. These are the events for them, the items for them. So I assume we'll see the item that was used for the Juchi, what was it called? I can't remember what it was called for her. I think was it barbecue sauce? It's barbecue. I think it was barbecue sauce. Where's Juchi at? I got her in here somewhere. I do actually. Yeah, there she is. Udachi. Uh, retrofit. It was this right here. I think it was. I think it's barbecue sauce that you need, and you can get that in one of the events. But I don't think it's. I don't think it's made its way into the shop as of yet. I assume it will be put in there in the future, since they put the ones for the Emperor ships in there. My assumption is we'll see it in there sometime in the future. Metal shop. Yeah, I think it'll be in there pretty soon. But But if not, the event will come around. They used to just run those events. They would run them once or twice a year, so you'd have to wait before you could get the item. So you could do the retrofit anytime you wanted to. You had to wait until the event came around to get the item. But they sort of shied away from that now, making it a little bit easier for you to retrofit a ship, which is good. That's the way it should be. All right, so 5 more days. Pledge of Radiant Court. Get in there. Make sure you get enough to do the shot. Hold off under limit breaking until the 16th. Okay, because you might get duplicate copies. It's, if you get a copy of a ship, and you'd already maxed them out, you could have used a bullet. You used a bullet. Don't waste the bullets unless you have to. Otherwise, you're just going to have to retire the ship once you're fully maxed, because there's really no reason to keep it around. So I wait until the 16th. So yeah, that'd be advisable. Try to get to if you get Jervis, 40,000 should be enough. But if you don't get Jervis, you might as well just shoot between 48,000 and 50,000, and that should be able to get you just about everything that you need inside of the shop. And they've given us a lot of time to do it, so it should be very easy to get. As you can see, my row is pretty low, but I've been keeping farming and everything, so that's why. But yeah, I pretty much got enough right now. But we'll continue on for another 5 days. And as soon as we come out with some new augmentation modules, we'll have a little bit more in-depth video about them and what you can do with them and building them. I'm not going to waste my mats on them right at this moment. I'll probably craft the ones that they've given us and just play around with them. But the stats aren't anything that's going to be game-bringing or game-changing. But we're going to want to get some augmentation modules. We're going to put them on and utilize them because it will make the ship. So it's min-maxing. If you're not min-maxing your account at this point, then you could really just stick whatever you want on there. But otherwise, there are ways to adjust the stats and whatnot. So it's not like once you do one and once it gets the stats, it's not like those stats are locked in. Whenever you can change it to another ship, you can modify the stats as well. So it does have some interesting stuff. But we'll talk more about it once we get some of the nicer modules. I assume we're going to have yellow modules. I assume we'll have some of the higher end ones that they'll be coming out with. We'll just have to wait and see, where they come from and what they're about. All right. So that's it. Just wanted to give you a heads up. All right. So thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe. Once you've subscribed, you'll see the bell. Click on it. You get notified each time I drop a video. It's Kenra coming at you in the corner, signing out.